Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve our skillrack daily challenge using Python programming language. Before going to logic, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, then subscribe right now and make our work more meaningful.
Let us solve today's DC using Python programming language. The program has to accept an integer R and C, and it must also accept an integer matrix of size R cross C, and it must also accept an integer X, Y, and K. Now our task is to flip the submatrix. Flip the submatrix, that is nothing but reverse the rows of submatrix. X comma Y, top left coordinate of the square submatrix, and K is the size of the square submatrix. Finally, the program must print the reversed matrix as our output. So the program has to accept integer R and C, integer matrix of size R cross C, and integer X, Y, and K. And our task is to flip the submatrix, which is nothing but reverse the rows of the submatrix, where x comma y is the top left coordinate of the square submatrix and k is the size of square submatrix. Finally, the program must print the reversed matrix as our output. So now let us consider for our test case for better understanding. So this is our test case. Here R is equal to 5 and C is equal to 8, and this is a matrix of size R cross C, and X is equal to 2, Y is equal to 2, and K is equal to 3 here. So first let us find the submatrix. So the starting is second row and second column. So 64 will be the starting element, and the size is 3 cross 3. So it is a matrix of size 3 cross 3, that is submatrix. So first let us write the submatrix separately. So 78, 81, 86, 17, 20, and 84. Now we have to flip this submatrix. So the first row comes to the last row, and the last row comes to the first row, and like that, so on. So let us write the flipped submatrix separately. So first row becomes 17, 20, 84, and the second row remains the same, and third row becomes 64, 35, and 95. Now we have to insert this submatrix in the original matrix position. So first let us copy the original matrix and paste it here, and this one becomes 17, 20, 84, and the second row remains the same, and the third row becomes 64, 35, 95. So this revised matrix will be printed as our output. Now let us consider for our last test case. So in this test case, R is equal to 8 and C is equal to 5. This is a matrix of size 8 cross 5, and the submatrix is of size, starting element is 4th row, first column, and size of 4. So this will be the starting element, and it is of size 4, so 4 cross 4 submatrix. So Let us write the submatrix separately. 70, 37, 46, 38, and then 72, 56, 32, 67, and then 97, 44, 18, 84, and at last 28, 65, 72, 79. So let us flip this submatrix, that is the last row comes to the first row and the first row goes to the last row. Like that, second row goes to the last previous row. So let us write the flipped matrix. So the first row becomes 28, 65, 72, 79, and the second row becomes 97, 44, 18, 84, and finally the last row is 70, 37, 46, and 38. So this will be our flipped submatrix. Now we have to insert this flipped submatrix in the original matrix. So let us copy this matrix. So the first row, that is submatrix first row, comes here. 28, 65, 72, 79, and the second row comes here. So let us copy and paste. Third row comes here, and finally the fourth row comes here. So this revised matrix will be printed as our output. Now let us implement our logic using Python 3. First, let us get the integer R and C as input from the user, and then we have to get the integer matrix as input, and then integer X, Y and K as input. So after getting the required input, now let us decrement the X and Y by 1, because here index value starting is 0. So decrement X and Y by 1. So after decrementing the X and Y, now let us use the for loop for flipping the submatrix. So here the submatrix is of size 4 cross 4. So there are 4 cross 4 elements here. So for CTR, for row in range K divided by 2. So inside this we have to flip our matrix, that is let us swap the matrix. So matrix of X plus row and Y, this is the row, matrix of X plus row, and the column is Y2 Y plus K, comma, matrix of X plus K. So this value should be swapped to this. So matrix of X plus K minus row minus 1. So this is the row, and the column is Y2 Y plus K is equal to, now let us copy and paste this here, comma, and let us copy this and paste it here. So the flipped matrix is done. So we are swapping the values, and finally we have to print the matrix as our output. So inside this for loop we are just flipping the submatrix according to our condition. Here the column is y2 y plus k and row is x plus row, and here the row and column is given, so we are swapping it, and finally we are printing the matrix as our output. This will be our required code for today's DC.